The first thing that you need to do before you get started with this challenge is go to the campus share drive and find the Illustrator folder. There are 3 files that you need to copy into your OneDrive, into the Illustrator folder in your OneDrive. If you hold down the Control key, you can select the # last name type tools. It's an Illustrator file. Beach Sunset, which is a JPEG, and then Text for Type Tool Challenge, which is a text file. Okay, so I'm going to start by dragging that last name type tools into Illustrator. This is the file that we're going to be working with right here. I am going to go ahead and show you the layers panel. Right now we have 2 layers. One of them is locked. That's where all of the lines are right here. And then there's a layer called complete here, and that's where all of our information is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and expand that so that we can see that layer being built. We are also going to need the character and paragraph panel. So if you'll go to Window, Type, if you will open character, it's automatically going to open paragraph as well. Up at the top of the character panel, there is the little options menu. If you click on it, I want you to see that you can show and hide options. You want to show so that you can see all of the extras here. There is also Reset Panel. And Reset Panel is important because whatever settings you had previously, they're still there. So we want to hit reset so that we don't have any vertical, horizontal scaling or anything else. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing with the paragraph panel. We want to make sure that we are showing the options. And we want to go ahead and reset the panel so that everything is default as well. Then we want to go ahead and do our tear away for the type tools. And once you do that, notice that you can do it horizontally or vertically. So you choose how you want it seen and go ahead and set those to the side there. The first thing that I would like to do then is go ahead and choose this horizontal type tool. And we're going to set our text to Arial. If you start typing in Arial, it tries to guess it. And we're just using regular Arial, 12 point, and we're going to take our fill off and leave it at a black stroke, and then go ahead and type your first name up here where it says name. And all you got to do is click and point, and then you can start typing. And same thing over here at period. If you hit Control-Shift-A, that will deselect and allow you to type your period number. And I'm putting number 1. You put your period number. And then I'm again going to do Control-Shift-A to deselect. Now, with this method up here, what I did was a point click. Okay, and all that did was allow me to type along that line. Well, with this same tool, I also have the ability to make a text box. So I'm going to click and drag in this top area here, and I am going to go ahead and drag that there. Now, this version of Illustrator, whenever you do that, it automatically puts in dummy text or lorem ipsum text. It's text that doesn't make any sense, but it's used so that we can see what something looks like without actually putting any information there. Now, the text that you're going to put in is in that text for type tool challenge.txt file. If you open this up, you will see that there are 2 paragraphs. I want you to select the first paragraph, copy it, and we're going to go back to Illustrator, and I'm simply going to paste. Okay, so now we have a paragraph of text that is actually words that make sense. I'm going to select all of it, and again I want to go here to the character panel and I want to start typing Verdana as the text or the font. And I'm going to choose that. I also want you to see that there are styles here. Some fonts have many styles, some don't have anything but regular, okay? But we're going to choose the Verdana right there. We're going to make the font 12 point and leave everything here on the character panel as is. Then we're going to go over to the paragraph panel. Up here at the top we have our different alignment options. We have left, center, right. The center, by the way, we never center paragraphs of text because it's hard to read. Right aligned, we might if we have, depending on what it is, a magazine spread or something, and we have images on the left-hand side. These next four all have to do with justify, and justify means that it has a line on the left side and on the right side, okay? So what's different about these four is the bottom line. The bottom line on this one aligns it to the left, this one to the center, to the right, and this one full, which obviously with this last line being this small looks kind of funny that way. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it right here. Then we have this one here will put a margin along the entire paragraph. Okay, this does it, same thing, but on the right hand side. See how it gives a margin between the wall of the text. The one we want to do is right here. It gives a first line indent, and I'm going to go ahead and set it for 30 point. You can see the indent right there. Now we have one, or at least I have one line that has a hyphen in it. Sometimes hyphens are good, sometimes they're not so good. So if I uncheck this, it's going to make sure that all of the text fits on one line. And if it doesn't, it's going to go ahead and put it on the next line of text. Okay, so next you're going to need to open your Editing Shapes Illustrator file from a couple of challenges ago and find the strawberry you created and go ahead and copy that and go ahead and paste it and move it to the center of this paragraph. If you need to resize it a little bit so it stays in this top area, go ahead and do so. Okay, now when I do that, it is covering my text. However, I have the ability to use text wrap. So with the object selected, if I go to the object menu, text wrap, and make, it automatically now wraps the text around that strawberry. No matter where I put it, it wraps it. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the center. Now if I go back, object, text wrap, and do text wrap options, I can choose how much I want it to be offset. So right now it's at 6 point. If I increase it, it makes, oops, I have to hit preview to see it. It makes the little buffer zone a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that at 8 point, and then I'm going to click OK. All right, the next thing that I want to do is I want to get my star tool, and I want to make a star here in this square. So right here, star, I'm going to make it yellow with no stroke, okay? And I am going to draw it here. If yours doesn't draw automatically, remember if you click, you get the pop-up that tells you what you want it to be, or allows you to choose how you want it. Then rotate your star, resize and rotate your star so that it fits in this square, and we want that top point up at the top, okay, kind of like this. All right, now I want you to go ahead back to this text file, and I want you to select that second paragraph because it's talking about the area type tool. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go ahead and close it because I'm done with that text. And I'm going to choose my area type tool. And now this might help if you zoom in a little bit. You actually need to click up here kind of at where the tip of that star is. And if I click, it automatically puts in lorem ipsum. And since it's highlighted, it means it's selected, and I can just paste. Now, I want to select all that as well, because notice here at the paragraph panel, do you see how it's empty space up here? That's because this indent first line is still there. So here I want to reset that panel so that I don't see that. Okay, and then I might want to do the full justification on that one. And if I go to the character panel, I will change it to Arial. And 10 point, I'm going to reduce it a little bit, make it fit better. Yeah, 10 point. And then I'm going to change the leading to 11 point. Oops, okay, so once I change the leading to 11, I'm actually going to change my font size to 11 as well. Okay, now what I want you to notice is once you do that, the shape actually disappears because the text takes its place. So if you wanted the shape there, you would actually have to make 2 of them. So I'm going to delete this, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get that star tool again, and I'm going to give it a yellow stroke, or sorry, yellow fill. And I'm going to click and point, and it's going to be 50, 25, 5, and I can rotate if I need to, and then definitely resize to make it fit. I'm then going to use my Alt key and my selection tool so that I can just drag and make a copy. And since this one is in the front, we know it's in the front because I drew it last, I can get my area type tool and I can click up there and then paste. Now, because I had already changed all the settings in my character and paragraph panel, this particular star still has them. So now I can select that and shift to select that star, and I can use my align tools up here. Oops, and actually I don't like how I have it set to the stage. So I'm actually going to open my align panel real quick, and I'm going to make sure it's aligned to selection, and then I can center, and then I'll have to use the arrows on my keyboard to move this back into that little square area. Whoops. Okay, so that is how the area type works. And for the rest of these, we'll move on to the next video.